Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be part 7 of working on my 68 Mustang. You can see in the interior I have some things pulled apart. Floor shifter is pulled apart. Got your instrument cluster pulled out of there. I'm going to be doing some things like got some LED light bulbs I'm going to put in the instrument cluster. There's this voltage regulator right here I'm pointing to that controls the gauges, mainly the gas gauge, because my other ones are bypassed. But my gas gauge, the needle kind of twitches and it doesn't read accurately. It'll start out at full, seem to stay there forever, it'll drop down, and then next time look at it, it's a 3/4, then it drops down, and then it lies. You can run out of gas easy. So, well, when you turn it on, let's see if I can demonstrate it now. I'm going to turn the key on. Let's just watch that needle. See, it should just swing over to 3/4 or half tank, whatever's in there now. And of course it's not going to do it because I got there, it's twitched. But it twitches, it's not reading correctly. And I ordered a new voltage regulator. That won't be here for another week or more. But I can put bulbs in. I got the shifter cover off because my shifter cable melted. Crawl under the car. It got hot because it was too close to the header. And it melted, and then when I tried to shift it, it popped out the side and it's jammed. And I'm going to replace that. That is going to be a real pain. I'm going to have to drop the transmission down to replace the cable. This is the cable. It's a B&M shift cable. I bought a regular B&M brand. $110 for that thing. But anyways, I'm going to put some of that heat sleeve on here like I put on my gas lines. And hopefully that heat sleeve is going to stop it from melting. Another thing I plan to put on is a catch can in the PCV. I got a bigger one. A lot of them are half the size, but if this thing will fit in there, it'll go on the passenger side firewall, kind of like right in that area. So I can't drive it. I mean, the weather's even worse today than it was the other day when I showed the open door. Because now it's wind chill is really bad, close to 0, I'm guessing, and it's blowing, snowing, and there's a few more inches of snow out there I'm going to have to deal with. But right now I got to shut up and do something. I think I'm going to start with those dash lights. That might be the easiest, but of course you know how easy jobs are. I'm going to find out. Here we go. I'm not sure how much of this you're going to be able to see, but these are the kind of bulbs that you just push in and give a turn, 1/8 of a turn. Lights up. Doesn't seem real bright, but it lights up. Now I got an older bulb, different style, Sure seems brighter. I thought that might have been what I was ordering. This is what I've used before. And I ordered LED lights, and they're in this style. It looks like it was brighter than the one I pulled out. I'm going to stick these in there and see how it works. I was just looking at my DTE Energy app. This tells you how much electricity you're using 13,000 watts right now. But with the app, I can see that at 9:44, I turn the heat on, and it's been running solid since then. It's 12:53, so it's been on for over 3 hours. I have a coat and hat on because it's still kind of cold in here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, buddy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, buddy. Uh-oh. Ah, crap. Oh, boy. I want to do that. I got everything hanging now. I replaced 7 of the small lights that I bought. I have 3 left. I have 3 gauges on my gauge panel there, you know, for vacuum oil, pressure, water, temperature. I can stick them in there. There's 1 gauge, there's a voltmeter that would need a bulb. And I'm just gonna have to come in here at night and look. Okay. So I can set this in there, but I really can't screw it down solid because I'm waiting for that voltage regulator thing to come. This is that silicone insulated tube. It's got like a thick fiberglass in there. And I'm going to slide that right over the cable. Cable's 5 feet long, and this is 5 feet. I'm going to cover the whole cable. I took the end off the transmission. There's the melted section. But then the cable goes up and it makes a big loop from one side of the trans over to this side of the trans. I'll try to show you where that cable is coming through the floor. Right in there. Comes out of the floor, we're moving it, right on top of the trans. And the cable itself is running through the transmission mount. So I gotta take that mount off, drop the trans down, so I have room to get that cable out and a new one in. Well, that was a real pain in the butt, but I got the cable run. I got the heat sleeve on it, got it zip tied out of the way, and that's probably 2 or 3 hours later. It was a real pain in the butt, people, but it's done. All right, I got my shifter put back together, and next I think I'm going to play with the headlight on alarm. This little guy here. Just simply hook it up to a dash light circuit and another power circuit, something like that. Instructions are on the back. It's real easy. But if you turn the car off and get out with your headlights on, it beeps. I'm going to stick that in there. It's actually a couple days later. I had to give up and go in the house. My furnace just was not keeping up with the cold, and I just abandoned ship and went in there. But I did get my gauge, my light on alarm hooked up. I hooked it up to my voltmeter gauge over there. I can't get it. That's got an indicator light in it and power. Those are the only two wires you need to hook that alarm up. Out and leave the lights on, it'll beep. I can't screw this together yet because I don't have my little voltage regulator, so that mess is gonna have to stay there. I got my oxygen sensor wire clamped out of the way under the car. I was looking into putting my catch can back there on the passenger side. Just not going to work. On the driver's side, right back in that area, it will work. It's going to be tight, but I can make it work. First, I need to get the car off the jack stands. It's up in the air high so I could crawl under there, but that just makes it too difficult to lean over the fender to hook that can up. So I'm going to drop it down. Yeah, I plan to stick this thing right down in here behind the shock tower. Need to put the fittings in here, figure out my hose routing, and then mount it. Okay, the kit came with a assortment of fittings and things here. One of them is a drain pepcock, goes on the bottom. Just a ball valve. They give you some Teflon type tape. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to put the right stuff on these threads. All right. I got a couple screws and washers to mount it with. Now the mounting, that's going to be tough because I got to be able to get a drill in here. Let's see if I'm going to have room to get this little lever on this fitting. Oh, it's down there. Yeah. Put a piece of hose on this so when I drain it, it doesn't drain all over the frame and everything down there. been playing around with the hoses that I have. None of them were long enough. So I just had to run up to O'Reilly and buy 6 feet of hose so I can hook this up. Finally got that hooked up. I zip tied the lines out of the way. Now that that's hooked up, I guess I should do a start, cold start. Make sure it's going to idle. So I'm going to twist on the key. Just fine. Started right up. I got a lot of stuff accomplished. Okay, lights on alarm is done. Dash lights are done. Catch can is done. O2 sensor wire is done. The only thing I got left to do is that voltage regulator, and I don't have that yet. It's going to be, I think the ship date was like the 27th. I think today's the 21st. I know this video hasn't been real exciting, but it's just what I'm doing this winter in my garage while I wait for the engine to come back on mixed car, because I really want to be working on my Falcon and not this. But I got a lot of stuff done, and I'm gonna say that this is the end of part 7 of Goodbye Carburetor and Holley Sniper EFI. Thank you for watching Dan's Messy Garage. Please stay tuned to my channel for updates and future projects. Bye.